What up? How's it going? They're in the same building, but they have separate practices. But the thing is, if you're close to Jimmy and he cares about you, he will do what he can to help, it seems. Even if it comes at the expense of someone else he cares about. And the reason that I said it like that at the end is because we see Jimmy look back at what he's done after Chuck gets up and says, hey, just know if situations were reversed, just know I do the same for you. And it's like, oh, man. But see, that's the thing. Right there at that moment, he's worried about who he's worried about. And now it's like, yo, did I do the right thing? It's just an inkling of that. Did I do the right thing? He's thinking that at that moment. Let's see what takes place from this now, right? Because, this is going to be catastrophic. That's real fucked up. That's some bad, that's a bad thing to have the wrong address on every single document. Think about all that paperwork. Let's go to start this episode. Yeah, he making a spot. Yeah, okay. I know I wasn't tripping. He's set like spike strips. That's where it's at. Or that's where you just look. Regular suit. I don't hear no crinkle crinkle. Damn, yo, that's so messed up. He gonna show up there. All this paperwork and shit.
Didn't you say that the hearing is more or less a formality?
Well, the real work's already been done, yes.
Well, in that case, I'm fine covering it myself.
Ooh.
Kevin and Paige don't need both of us there. I'm just worried about your comfort.
I find victory laps very comforting.
Okay, because if you would have went there by itself, there's nothing worse than showing up someplace, a meeting. They answer you questions, you don't got the answers. You're like, well, I'd have to ask him. That's the worst.
I believe staff has found the application to meet the basic requirements for approval. That's right, isn't it?
With your permission, Mr. Wachtel would like to make a brief statement in support of the application.
For 46 years, the men and women of Mesa Verde Bank and Trust prided ourselves on personal service and attention to detail, second to none. Mesa Verde continues to operate at a Tier 1 leverage ratio of 11.2%.
Hold on. Excuse me, Mr. Wachtel, just one moment.
Yes. Can you give us the address of the proposed Scottsdale branch again?
Certainly. It's 1216 Rosella Drive, Scottsdale, Arizona, 85262.
1216. Okay, because the application I'm looking at today clearly gives the address as 1216.
1216, that's correct, sir.
But in the original submission, we're seeing 1261 Rosella Drive.
Oh, it's 1261.
1261.
I think if you double check, you'll see that 1216 is correct.
It clearly states the address is 1261 Rosella Drive.
Mr. Commissioner,
1261 Rosella Drive. Yes, I have a copy of the notice of intent too. But on the actual filing, the address reads 1216.
It's absolutely 1261.
You are mistaken, and with all due respect, you're muddying the waters here.
Muddying the water? Look. Just look.
Oh, no.
Well, this is clearly an error.
It's 1261. I know where my own damn bank is.
1261.
1261.
Is this going to be a problem? Because I'm sure.
It's one thing if he goes, oh, that's a terrible mistake in it. But Chuck is so sure of himself that he's like, no, y'all are wrong.
We'd like to request an adjournment of just a few minutes so that we can amend the filing to reflect the correct address.
Well, I can give you an adjournment, but I don't think we can get you back in today.
If I may, when do you think you might be able to schedule us?
I'm being told by staff that they've already done the research for 1216 Rosella Drive. Our folks are going to have to go back to square one. Maybe next time, double check. Now, the soonest we could revisit this matter, well, it looks like 6 weeks from Friday. I'll see you in 6 weeks. That closes the matter for today. Will staff please note that Mesa Verde will return in 6 weeks, at which time we'll revisit this application.
This doesn't just reflect on you. An office full of associates and paralegals let this get by. I did too, for that matter.
It was 12:16, I promise you.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Oh.
This was no mistake.
Right when he came to the realization, I'm assuming he realized who done it. I'm like, if he says who does it, it'll make him sound crazy. If he could just hold it in, maybe he could go talk to, like, it's not going to fix anything, but maybe he could go. But you could kind of tell something about Chuck, the fact that he just didn't immediately go, it was my fucking brother Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like, but I think that was him realizing who did it. But yeah.
Hey, listen up, everybody. This gentleman's buying a round for the house.
Hi, Paige. How are you? Yeah, I mean, no, it's fine. Well, yes, of course. Right, I understand. Jimmy.
What's up?
I just got Mesa Verde back.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Holy shit, that's unbelievable.
This is major.
Hey, Kim, you got this, all right? So take a moment. Breathe, savor.
Mesa Verde files. Chuck's ready to turn them over to me.
Wow, really? That was quick?
Yeah.
The hell, this thing doesn't.
Well, he done changed the locks on your ass. Yeah. So that was realization of who did it.
So, Chuck, what's the deal with the locks?
Kim, I was hoping to have this conversation with you and you alone. He sabotaged me.
Buddy, what are you...
Please, don't bother. Yesterday morning was the worst professional humiliation of my life. Then I realized it wasn't an error. Not at all. My brother was going to take care of me. And in the dead of night, he went through my Mesa Verde files.
Hey, you know what? We don't have to listen to this.
She does. Now, in these files are 13 documents containing the address of Mesa Verde's proposed branch. 1261 Rosella Drive, Scottsdale, Arizona. Jimmy pulled each and every one. Then he left me here, sweating and delirious, while he went off to doctor them. 1261 Rosella Drive became 1216 Rosella Drive.
This is sounding like a lot of work.
Well, no one ever accused you of being lazy. Every other sin in the book, but not that one.
So you're saying if we look in here, all the addresses will be wrong?
Well, of course you weren't going to leave evidence behind. I'm guessing yesterday morning you waited until I left, then used your key to let yourself in and return the originals. No crime is complete without the cover-up.
Oh, come on. I did all this, what, for some business?
He did it for you. As a sworn officer of the court, as Mesa Verde's attorney of record, you have no recourse but to go to Kevin Wachtel and make a full disclosure.
And what is your evidence?
There we go.
My evidence is knowing my brother for his entire life.
Chuck, I think there's another explanation. It's a simpler one. You made a mistake. Mistakenly changing 1261 to 1216 would be the most natural thing in the world. It could certainly happen to me.
I did not make a mistake.
See, it makes it seem like he's crazy.
You come up with this elaborate scheme.
He's capable of this. You know he is.
I know he's not perfect. And I know he cuts corners. But you're the one who made him this way. He idolizes you. He accepts you. He takes care of you.
Man, I'd have been in that bitch like, look, bitch, me. If I was telling mother, but both y'all get the fuck up out my house. Hey, but this is a good ass scene though. I like this.
You never believed in him. You never wanted him to succeed.
That all may be true, but he did it.
I feel sorry for him. And I feel sorry for you.
Jesus, What?
Yeah, that's what I
Kim,
thought.
what?
Okay. She do know.
Just drive.
Yeah, she clearly does know. But the thing was, the only way to get out of this and not have Jimmy locked up and disbarred and all sorts of shit is you have no evidence. This is just you hating. You've always been a hater. Like, you know what I mean? That's the only way.
Rhubarb, 9 o'clock.
This is school property, and no one is allowed here without permission.
Of course not. You didn't speak to Annette
Annette?
in the superintendent's office.
Do you know an Annette downtown?
I don't think so.
5 minutes tops.
You're not shooting anything until I'm clear on what's going on here.
Rupert Holmes. That's who the documentary is about.
I'm sorry, who?
Rupert Holmes.
You don't know him?
You know, if you like making love at midnight in the dunes by the Cape, see? Look at her face, Rupert Holmes. Chop, chop. Magic time.
Does it ever snow around here?
Sure it does. This is gonna be your first winter in Albuquerque?
Yeah, I'm out from Philadelphia.
Yeah, it depends on the year. If you stay around long enough, you'll have some to shovel, don't you worry.
That suits me.
I live up in Cedar Crest. We get plenty. You can shovel my drive if you're looking for more.
Just say the word.
Oh, he'll shovel your drive.
I think it was you. They left the driver hogtied, not a mark on him. Anyone in the game would have capped him without a second thought, but this driver, he's still breathing.
Driver had nothing to do with it.
Then who?
Just me.
You're telling me you did this without someone on the inside?
All I can tell you is you guys aren't half as smart as you think you are. The truck robbery. The cops keeping it out of the papers?
The cops? You wanted to put the cops onto Hector? Why? You are nothing to him. He forgot all about you.
I haven't forgotten him.
You put me in the shit. Just 'cause you got it in for Hector Salamanca? Doing it for the money. I get it. But this shit, that's insane.
You need to calm yourself down. And you need to take that hand out of that pocket.
After you left, the Good Samaritan came along and said, "Oh my God, oh my God." He cut the driver loose. The driver called us. We came out, got the truck. Made it like it never happened.
And that Good Samaritan?
Dead.
Hector shot him in the face.
Yeah, Mike, you got somebody killed. You got a good Samaritan killed. That man was just over there Samaritan it up. You know what I mean? Oh, shit, I want to help somebody. Blow.
Your brother is one smart lawyer.
The smartest one I know. I mean, no offense.
He'd make quite an adversary.
You better believe it.
The kind of adversary who'd find even the smallest crack in your defense. Going against him, you'd really want to make sure you've got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed.
Well, let's cut to the chase. That guy who just walked out of here, his name is Ernie. I'm guessing he showed you my picture and asked if I was in here the other night. Now he's going to bring his boss, who's my brother, and he's going to ask you the same question. Did you see that guy the other night? Well, the answer is no. Hey, tell me about the cameras.
They go to a VCR in the back. It tapes for 12 hours and then records over itself.
Right, so I'm on there now.
Could be tricky and expensive.
How much tricky? Like how much?
Like $100 expensive.
Like $200 expensive.
Lance, is it?
Yeah.
Lance, I'm Charles McGill. My associate spoke with you earlier, and he showed you this photo. On or about the morning of the 18th, this person was here in this shop. Is that correct?
On or about the
18th, early morning.
No.
Stay strong, Lance.
Was this man here making copies?
It's like I said, I don't think so.
Well, earlier you said that he was here. Now you're saying that he wasn't here. Which is it?
Now that I'm seeing it again, sorry, don't know what to tell you. Guess I was wrong.
I am an officer of the court investigating a felony.
So you're a cop?
No, I'm not. I'm
Mr. McGill, maybe we better get you home.
Ernesto, do not speak to me as if I were a child. I'm fine. I am not a police officer. I am an attorney, and I have a moral and legal obligation to get to the bottom of this matter.
The bottom of what?
Forgery, fraud, falsifying evidence, breaking and entering.
This Guy, is he okay?
There's nothing wrong with
Mr.
me.
McGill, maybe we could just take a break and...
Ernie, shut up!
If I was Ernie, I'd be like, that was the last straw. I'm out of here.
I want you to speak the truth. I know he was here. I know what he did. Tell me what you told Ernesto.
How do we get this to do 11 by 14?
No, excuse me. We are having a conversation here.
You gotta switch it to trade 4. It's easier if I show you. Look, dude, okay, I don't want any problems here. So just get him out of here or I'm gonna call the cops, okay?
Oh, shit! Wasn't expecting that. Yo, did he?
Call 911. Call 911. Come on.
Did that man just hand him a napkin? First, let me start by saying don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And got a Patreon full-length early reactions to things like this. If you like, check it out. Hey, man, I know I was laughing, but that was fucking crazy because Chuck just busted his fucking head on the edge of a goddamn counter. And this motherfucker brought a napkin. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this, Lance? Call 911. Now, that whole final scene is interesting. You got Jimmy sitting there watching, just hoping. Hey, stand firm, Lance. Don't let him know, right? I paid you for this. I need you to do this for me, okay? So he's watching that, hoping. The whole time, though, we're seeing as Chuck gets riled up. Now he's actually able to go out in the world for a little bit without all his special garb and all that, but it wears on him. And the more stress he gets, as we saw early in the episode, the more he has, the more it starts to affect him. So it's affecting him, and I'm not thinking nothing really. I'm like, okay, it's going to end here soon because I'm looking at the time. I did not expect for him to fall and hit his head. So imagine you, Jimmy, and you watching that happen to Chuck, and you're like, what the fuck? Remember, as Jimmy is watching this all take place, you can see the worry in his face as he sees Chuck under that stress. He recognizes it. Even from that far away at nighttime, he can see it there. So he, of course, is still worried about his brother. This whole thing is they both still love each other, but, you know, Chuck is there. He shows up, and I'm already like cringing before everything starts because it's like, oh, this is gonna be so fucking bad. For one, he shows up and he's ready to go. And by the way, it's almost better that he showed up because if what's his name, Howard is there by himself and he has to answer these questions and not know what's going on, that is one of the worst things. It's like, oh, I'll get back to you because they're at the top. The buck stops with them. There is no, I got to go check with somebody. You just got to eat that, even though you didn't do nothing wrong. Okay, here's the thing with this. Chuck is like, yo, no, I saw the right thing. It's to the point where Chuck is trying to tell Mesa Verde what their address is. Because he's like, no, I read the paper. That's what it says. They're like, no, it's 61. We are working on 61. We know it's, just look at the fucking paper. He's like, it's 16 because all the paperwork he has seen has said that. So imagine how he's feeling. The stress is coming under it. Howard recognized it. You see him going under it. And Chuck did his best. He still tried to do it. They said, listen, 6 weeks. It's like, damn. Mesa Verde had already had everything set up. So we knew this is how it was going to go. But even knowing how it was going to go, it was still hard to watch. And it's just something about this show where the stakes are such that I'm looking at it, even if I know what's going to happen, it's, man, I can't really explain it, but it just has you wrapped up in it. Howard even says to him, listen, the paralegals, associates, me, we all failed. We all should have looked over this. Facts, right? Facts. But it was Chuck, so nobody looked over it. At that point, I'm like, he didn't outright say it. which was smart of him. But at that moment, I didn't realize if he really, whether he had suspicions or whether he had just settled on this was Jimmy. Okay. So she ends up getting Mesa Verde back. He's like, oh, congratulations and all that. Chuck immediately calls, come get this paperwork. He expected her to come by herself, but he's like, listen, good, both y'all here? Needs to be said. He goes off, he lists off everything, and I'm wondering how she's going to take it, because she knows it's him. I was like sure of that, but once she started talking, then it was waver, but I was sure that early on, oh, she knew he did it. Once Chuck put that on there, she knew. She did what needed to be done in that case by saying that he doesn't know what he's talking about. That means in no way it makes her ignorant of the entire situation, right? Because if Chuck ever talked to somebody or anywhere or found enough proof, she's completely ignorant. And it makes it look like, oh, she's caught off guard and all that. But while at the same time, she's sticking up for Jimmy, even though she knows Jimmy did it. And I was almost like hurt for Chuck, because it's like, damn, dog, you did it. You just did what needed to be done, and you got caught by your brother. And once again, he said, this motherfucker is the Mozart of this shit. And he started bringing up old stuff that he would do, forging the fake IDs and stuff like that. Yo, it could be real bad if Jimmy gets fucked up. Felony shit, right? So they end up in the car. She just starts punching him because she knows, but it's still unspoken. So then we go to them both laying in the bed. And he's like, he basically is like, are we going to talk about this? She's like, please don't. And I'm like, yo, don't say nothing. Do not fuck her over. But then she does something so careful where she says, that motherfucker Chuck, he's a beast. Hell of a lawyer. You wouldn't want to be an adversary of that man. He make sure he'll look for any crack in your defense. And that's what gets Jimmy on this road to do what he does. And it's like, man. Didn't expect it to go how it went, where he hits his head. But yeah, man, this is interesting because it's not just outright. They still love each other. But it's one of those things where, yeah, he knows that Jimmy is close to ruining her. But she played it right where no matter what, it looks like she's ignorant of the situation, but she still ends up helping Jimmy in that case. Let's see. Mike did what he did, and he was feeling good. First time in a while, not cranky Mike. He had that old chick at the diner. She's throwing a monkey at him, and over some snow talk. And he bought a round for everybody, living it up. My man had that cell phone, like, and now he gets approached by Ignacio. Now, the thing with Ignacio that I find to be funny is Ignacio is willing to talk. You see, because we see Salamanca and we see Tuco, and then we got the twins, it's almost this thing of, well, somebody had to be kind of normal, right? Right? Like, because all of them motherfuckers is the same. So somebody had to be kind of normal, and Ignacio was that. Ignacio didn't reach for his gun until Mike brings up the police. And he's like, yo, what the fuck? Your plan was to get the police involved in this? And that's where it became a thing. But Mike thought he had all his bases covered. There's variables in this. There's nothing, you can't account for everything, because it's one of those things where Mike didn't know how that guy got out of it. And then he's wondering, well, why haven't the cops, why isn't it in the paper? He talks about the Good Samaritan. Now, he asked the question, what happened to the Good Samaritan? He knew. The man goes, Hector shot him in the fucking face. You see Mike get in the car, and he's like, right? That whole sort of, he felt good. He accomplished something, and no one got hurt. That was his whole thing. He accomplished something, nobody got hurt. And now it's a nameless, faceless motherfucker just hidden somewhere. He's going to be missing. Probably got a family or some shit. He was a good Samaritan. He was helping out. So now I wonder where this is going to push Mike. Right? Because he's like, it's over. But obviously something else is going to continue with them. Right? But he's saying it's over. That I'm not sure of. But hey, it's another good episode. Next episode.